2. Shopify Customer Service and Management. From Jeremy Cooper, Captain Sea Pirates Booty. Date, June 22, 2025. Read, fraudulent transaction issues, inadequate platform protection, and potential legal action. Dear Shopify Management, I am writing to formally address serious concerns regarding fraudulent transactions on my Shopify store and what I believe to be inadequate fraud protection measures on your platform. This letter serves as both a complaint and formal notice of potential legal action if this matter is not resolved satisfactorily. Background: as a new Shopify merchant transitioning from Wix, I relied on your platform's represented security measures to protect both my business and customers. I was not adequately informed about potential fraud risks or provided with sufficient safeguards during my onboarding process. The problem: over my first 3 weeks of operation, I believed I had generated over $5,000 in legitimate sales. However, I later discovered that many of these transactions were fraudulent. This situation has been ongoing for months, causing continuous stress and financial hardship. Impact on my business and health. Financial impact: nearly $9,000 in disputed charges and fees. Mental health impact: as a heart attack survivor, this ongoing stress has severely affected my health and well-being. Business disruption: complete loss of confidence in platform security, inability to focus on legitimate business growth. Ongoing harassment: continued attempts to collect fees for your platform security failures. My specific concerns: inadequate fraud prevention. No automatic fraud detection alerts during obvious suspicious activity. No pop-up warnings about potential fraudulent transactions. No clear guidance provided to new merchants about fraud risks. Insufficient algorithm protection against known scammer patterns. No safeguards that should be standard in e-commerce platforms. Lack of merchant protection. New merchants are not adequately educated about fraud prevention. Platform failed to provide basic safeguards. No proactive monitoring despite obvious red flags. Misleading representations about platform security. Unfair financial practices. Holding merchants responsible for platform security failures. Charging fees for transactions that should have been flagged automatically. No consideration for merchants who were unaware of fraud risks. Continued collection attempts despite acknowledged platform failures. Health and mental distress. As someone who has survived a heart attack and deals with ongoing health challenges, this situation has created severe mental distress. The financial pressure, feeling of being misled by your platform, and ongoing collection harassment has significantly impacted my well-being and recovery. Timeline of events. Initial setup: trusted Shopify's security representations. First 3 weeks, believed I had $5,000 plus in legitimate sales. Discovery: found out transactions were fraudulent. Ongoing, months of stress, collection attempts, and unresolved issues. Present, nearly $9,000 in disputed charges with no resolution. What I expected versus what I received. Expected: a secure platform with adequate fraud protection. Expected: clear warnings about potential fraudulent activity. Expected: proactive support for new merchants. Expected: fair treatment when platform failures occurred. Received: a platform that allowed obvious fraud unchecked. Received: financial responsibility for security failures. Received: inadequate support and ongoing harassment. Legal grounds for action. Based on consultation and research, I believe there are multiple grounds for legal action. Consumer protection violations. Inadequate disclosure of fraud risks to new merchants. Misrepresentation of platform security capabilities. Unfair business practices regarding fees for platform failures. Breach of service agreement. Failure to provide advertised level of security. Fraud prevention significantly below industry standards. Negligence. Failure to implement reasonable fraud prevention measures. Not warning new merchants about known risks. Allowing obvious fraudulent activity to continue unchecked. Damages. Documented health impact, heart attack survivor. Financial losses and ongoing collection harassment. Business disruption and lost opportunities. Mental distress and health complications. Resolution demanded. Immediate actions required. Complete fee waiver. All fees and charges related to fraudulent transactions must be waived immediately. Account clearing. Full clearing of all disputed amounts from my account. Stop collection activities. Immediate cessation of all collection attempts. Acknowledgement. Written acknowledgement of platform security failures. Long-term changes. Policy review. Implementation of better fraud prevention for all merchants. Merchant education. Improved onboarding and fraud awareness programs. Compensation consideration for mental distress and business disruption caused. Legal action notice. If this matter is not resolved within 90 days of this letter, I will be forced to pursue legal action including but not limited to filing complaints with state consumer protection agencies, pursuing civil litigation for damages, including medical expenses related to stress-induced health complications, seeking punitive damages for unfair business practices, joining or initiating class action proceedings with other affected merchants, reporting to relevant regulatory bodies. I have already consulted with legal counsel and have been advised that I have strong grounds for multiple claims against Shopify. Documentation available. Complete transaction records showing fraudulent patterns. Medical documentation of health impact. Previous communications with Shopify support. Evidence of platform's failure to provide adequate protection. Timeline of ongoing collection harassment. Final opportunity. This letter represents your final opportunity to resolve this matter fairly and avoid costly litigation. I am prepared to work toward a reasonable resolution, but I will not continue to accept financial responsibility for your platform's security failures. I expect a written response within 10 business days outlining your proposed resolution. Failure to respond or provide adequate resolution will result in immediate legal action. Respectfully but firmly, Jeremy Cooper, Captain C. Pirates Booty, LLC.